Hello everyone and welcome to Unwine with Janet. Today I'll be making for you fried dumpling or Johnny cake as it's popularly called in Jamaica. It can be had as a breakfast or as part of a light dinner, especially on Fridays. Johnny cake derives from the name journey cakes, and they were made and packed for plantation workers when they had long journeys. So watch to the end and you'll see how easy it is to make. And I'll give you some suggestions as to what it can be paired with, all right? So come let me show you how we do it. Welcome back, my friends. Now for this fried dumpling recipe, you will need some flour, oil for frying, baking powder, a little bit of salt, and your water to combine. So Johnny cake, as it's usually called in Jamaica, can be enjoyed as a breakfast, and sometimes maybe on Friday evening can be enjoyed as a dinner with ackee and saltfish or whatever you choose to enjoy it with. So to begin the process, I just added the salt and now I'm adding the baking powder, and after which I'll be adding the butter. Now the butter is optional. If you don't want to use it, you don't have to. The reason I use the butter is because it enhances the taste and it also adds some extra crispiness when you're finished frying it. So before I add the water, I want to make sure that all my dry ingredients along with the butter have been properly combined. So I am crumbing the butter and the flour together before I incorporate the water and get everything mixed together. Now you have to make sure that whenever you're adding your water, you want to add a little at a time. The aim now is to form a dough. Now the way how that's done is you'll add your water, and after you add your water, you try to get as much flour where that liquid is, and then you squeeze it together to form that dough. Now after you finish and you have at least some dough in your hand, you put that aside, and then you get the water again, then you add it to the flour and you do the same thing. You try to form another dough, and after you finish, you combine both doughs together until you're gonna have one big dough in the plate. And that's what you do basically to form that one dough. The aim now is not to get it too tight, because that's the last thing you want. If you squeeze it too tight when you're kneading it, then your dumpling is gonna get a little bit tough. So the dough is gonna be a little bit too tight if you should do that. Now you wanna make sure that whenever you're holding it loosely and you're kneading it loosely, not too heavy, okay? So in the end, this is what it should look like. It's not too soft and it's very pliable. So it's gonna be easy for you to pinch a piece of it, roll it in your hands without it sticking to your hand. So to start frying it, we're going to add our oil into a heated skillet, and you want to heat your oil until it's about 350 degrees, because you do not want to put your dough in oil that's not hot. It's going to be greasy in the end, so be warned. So this is how we form the dough to make the fried dumpling. You're going to get a little piece the size of a golf ball, roll it in your hand until you get the perfect circle. And after that, you're gonna put it in your oil. And remember, your oil should be at least 350 degrees, okay? For some people, they would press it so it gets a little bit flatter. But for me, I prefer when they're, the perfect circle. And then once you do that, you're gonna keep on doing that same process. Remember, because we have baking powder in it, you do not want to make them too big. And at the same time, you want to make sure also that you do not overcrowd your skillet, because they're going to expand in size and you're going to want to have enough space in it, so when that happens, they have enough room to fry properly. You'll also realize that even before you're finished putting the first batch in, it will be time to get them turned over. At this stage, you can put your heat to medium, because if it's too high, then they're gonna burn, because the oil is hot enough already. So what you do, you basically just turn them over and then you continue the process. You can still add fresh batches to what's there already, and that's what I'm doing. But you just have to keep an eye on the ones that you had put in prior to make sure that they do not get too brown too quickly. You might also wonder, how will you know when to flip them over? So all you have to look at is the color. Once they're golden brown, then that's a telltale sign that you're to flip them over. Now, a lot of persons will prepare Johnny cakes or fried dumpling totally different. The great thing is that the end product always stays the same. So there are different methods to do this, but this is my way of preparing fried dumpling. So you let me know, how do you prepare yours? Is it any different from mine? Do you add anything extra or not? Let me know in the comments below. As I had mentioned earlier, fried dumpling can be served as breakfast. For me, I usually serve it on a Sunday morning because then I would pair it with liver, ackee and saltfish, or salt mackerel, or just saltfish by itself. It's very versatile and it goes well with just about anything you prefer. Making fried dumpling is so simple and easy. As long as you have the technique down, then that's half the battle. Okay, so what you're going to do when everything is in the pot frying, you want to make sure that you're consistently turning them over because they'll tend to burn a little bit easier than normal because of the baking powder. Now, the way you're going to find out if they're ready, once you lift them and they're a little bit lighter and golden brown all over, then that's a sure sign that it's done. Now, once you remove your fried dumpling from the oil, you want to make sure that you put them on a plate that's lined with a paper towel because the paper towel is going to soak up excess oil from it. The last thing again that you want is to be eating greasy fried dumpling. That's not a good taste, all right? So these fried dumplings, they can be enjoyed either hot or cold. And if you have a warmer to keep them warm until you're ready, all the better. So this is what it looks like now when everything is all done. Nice golden color. So go ahead and give it a try and let me know how it turned out. Leave your comments in the comment box. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you liked this video. And if you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss next week's video. What good? Till me see you next time, alright?
Come down, think about where we are. It's a long